of peer pressure as a teenage problem most often, but my next guest says it starts young and in simple, subtle ways. So she's sharing strategies to help teach her kids how to find good friends. Holly Willard is a licensed clinical social worker specializing in children, teens, and families. Holly, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
We should clarify, we are specifically focusing this conversation on kids, say what, 8 and younger?
Yes, specifically, I'll give you some tips for a little bit older, but you want to be able to give them those good friendship skills when they're younger, because at the older that they get, the more difficult it is for them to listen to their parents and also to teach them the new skills.
So what does peer pressure look like then at a 5-year-old level?
Well, a 5-year-old level, a child can come home and say, I want to be popular. Kindergarten, they're talking about being popular. Or I want to dress like this person because they dress like that. Or I want to do my hair. Or I need to hang out with the cool kids or hang out in this group. So the first thing is really teaching them. I teach my daughter the difference between popularity and being nice to people. And you can be known and people can know who you are, but that isn't always a good thing. You want to be nice to everyone and treat them with respect.
Well, in fact, you compare teaching your kids how to find good friends to teaching them a sport. What are the parallels there?
Well, when a child is learning a new sport, we teach them the skills outside of the game. You teach them how to pass the ball or how to play as a team. And that's really what we need to be doing as teaching them friendship skills from a very, very young age. Teaching them how to talk politely to other people, to be nice and be respectful, and also to have their own boundaries and be able to stand up for themselves and say, you know, it's not okay that you just said that to me. Please treat me nicely. So
those social skills really start at home.
They do start at home.
Some of the best lessons come from watching how parents behave. So in terms of making friends at a young age, what skills should we be modeling as parents?
As parents, we need to be teaching our children how to have our own boundaries and appropriate relationships. If as a mom we're talking badly about our friends, and then when we go to them and we're nice and we don't ever stand up for ourselves, or we let them take advantage of us, the children are watching that more than anything that we can say. So we really need to be showing them good, appropriate relationships within our friendships, within our family, and treating them with respect and having them be able to come to us and express their feelings.
As a parent, Holly, if you're standing back and you're watching your 5, your 6, your 7-year-old make poor friend choices, you're just not comfortable with the friend choices they're making, can that teach you something about your own child?
It can, but also when they're younger, that's when we can stand in and be a referee. That's when we can say, you know, when you play with this friend, what I notice is you're not sharing your toys. You start to have fights over things, and then you're saying, I'm not your best friend. That's not how we treat our friends. It's okay to have disagreements, but it's not okay to have this drama every time we play.
So you're pointing out the behavior that friend may be drawing out.
That friend, or it might be our own child sometimes.
Yeah, true.
And then I think we use play and role plays to practice those skills. For example, the other day I heard my daughter kind of having this play of, you're not my best friend, and I don't want to play with you anymore. And I said, wait a minute, let's talk about that's not really being a good friend. How would you say to a friend, and we use the dolls, how would you say, that hurt my feelings? And then we practiced that and played a little bit differently. A big piece of it is the media. When you watch age-appropriate cartoons or shows, it starts off their friends, then they get in this huge big fight, and by the end they're friends again. And so this relational aggression is seen to think as, oh, it's normal to be frenemies. That's actually not normal. That's not healthy.
TV shows play up that drama,
they do.
And kids sit back and think that's just how it goes.
That's how it goes.
It's interesting you bring that up. I was talking to my sister the other day, and her 5-year-old daughter loves this particular TV show with these kind of kid superheroes, and my sister said she loves it, but I'm not comfortable because they don't treat each other well.
Yes.
And I thought that was a really insightful parenting comment, to be aware of how the media might be influencing your own child's perspective.
And it's okay to sit down with your child and watch those cartoons and talk about it. I'm so excited. American Girl is having a cartoon that's specifically around being a good friend.
Oh, I didn't know
that's their whole basis. So it's coming out in the fall, I believe.
So that would be a great opportunity to sit down and review positive media. Play dates, you say, in addition to role playing, play dates are a great opportunity to help facilitate those good friendships. Anything we can do from the parenting perspective that doesn't cross the line of jumping in and taking over, but definitely serves as a guiding force?
Similar to if you were a coach, you would want them to play scrimmages against teams that will help them be better players. It is okay when our children are young to decide, I really want this friendship to grow with my child, so I'm going to organize more play dates with this child.
So you're structuring it.
You're structuring it. That's okay. We need them to learn those skills. We're not hovering, we're not overbearing, we're not sitting there saying you have to be best friends with this child, but we're arranging positive opportunities for them to gain friendships.
You do give a word of caution, though, at a certain age, parents do need to pull back and let those kids, those friends, work out their own problems. How does that look from your perspective?
How that looks is when a child comes to you and says, I'm having this problem with my friend, what can I do? You say, what do you think you should do about this situation?
You're turning it back on them.
And you're turning it back on them, and then you're teaching them, and if they don't, I don't know, Mom, what should I do? Well, I can give you some ideas, but ultimately this is you need to decide how you're going to handle this. And that way it helps them gain that confidence that they can deal with the problems in their life and that you trust them to solve them. If we're hovering or we're being a helicopter parent and solving all their problems, we're teaching children they don't know how to handle this, they need an adult.
So essentially you're an emotional coach.
You're an emotional coach.
For your kids.
Yes.
Helping them play out the situation. And your final piece of advice is just ultimately, Mom, Dad, you make the call. If your child isn't making a good choice at a young age, it's your role to step in and structure it.
And there are lines that are crossed that, similar to a referee, if you need to give a red card to a friend, if they're crossing those safety boundaries, don't let them play with that friend. And that's completely okay.
That's okay. All right, Holly, thank you so much. Great advice. You're helping families, I know, all the time improve those relationships. How can people get in touch with you?
GrandviewFamilyCounseling.com.
We'll link people over from our website to make it easy. We appreciate it. Great to see you.